across the globe, certain sites and relics continue to challenge what we know about history. From awe-inspiring ancient structures to civilizations that once thrived and vanished, the past holds unsolved puzzles. These aren't myths. They're real findings supported by experts and sometimes even official documentation. Some hint at advanced knowledge, others reveal entire cultures long forgotten, and a few might even reshape what we consider possible. Get ready to explore 20 enduring mysteries that inspire curiosity and wonder. In Edinburgh, Scotland, lies a grave that has unnerved visitors for decades, the resting place of Sir George Mackenzie. Often referred to as Bloody Mackenzie due to his harsh persecution of Covenanters during the reign of Charles E. They say the dead can't hurt you, only the living can. Try telling that to the hundreds of visitors who have reported unexplained scratches, bruises, or even the sensation of being choked after visiting his mausoleum. The reports began in 1998, when a homeless man broke into the Black Mausoleum in Greyfriars Kirkyard and accidentally disturbed a sealed section, allegedly exposing a plague pit. Since then, a surge in paranormal claims has followed: mysterious injuries, fainting spells, and sensations of an oppressive force. One local exorcist reportedly attempted to cleanse the site and died shortly after, fueling further speculation. What makes this story particularly eerie is the volume and consistency of the reports. We're not talking about a few isolated tales, but hundreds of incidents spanning more than 2 decades. Many visitors, unaware of the tomb's reputation, have recounted strikingly similar experiences. These injuries appear suddenly, without any identifiable physical cause. Beneath the hills of Shaanxi Province, China, lies the tomb of China's first emperor, Qin Huang. While the terracotta army guarding his mausoleum is world-renowned, the emperor's main burial chamber remains unopened. Ancient historian Sima Qian described it as an underground palace with flowing mercury rivers, a pearl-studded ceiling representing the night sky, and hidden traps to deter intruders. It's said that more than 700,000 laborers built the complex, a massive feat for any era. Modern surveys using remote sensing and soil testing have revealed high mercury levels in the area, aligning with historical records. Despite decades of interest, the central chamber stays sealed due to concerns over preservation, exposure to air, and the site's deep cultural and spiritual meaning. Far more than a tomb, it represents imperial power and ancient belief systems. The mercury traces alone support the notion that something extraordinary may lie within. Whether it serves solely as a burial site or holds knowledge that could change how we view early Chinese civilization remains an open question. In 1890, French anthropologist Georges Vacher de la Pouche reported a striking discovery: 3 large bone fragments found in the village of Castelnau near Montpellier, France. Based on their size, he estimated the individual stood over 11 feet tall. The bones, a femur, tibia, and humerus, were examined by experts at the University of Montpellier, who agreed they likely came from an unusually tall human or a distinct group. However, the remains later vanished without explanation. Some skeptics believe the bones may have come from large animals, such as bears, misidentified due to limited knowledge at the time. Yet the fact that trained experts of the era declared them human has kept speculation alive about ancient giants or lost civilizations. This case reflects a common challenge in historical research: the disappearance of key evidence. Found during a period when scientific methods were less refined, the discovery's credibility is debated. Still, the detailed measurements and multiple expert assessments suggest it may not have been a simple error. The legend of Excalibur tells of a sword only the rightful king could pull from the stone. A real-life counterpart exists in Tuscany, Italy, where a sword is embedded in solid rock at the Rotonda di Montesiepi, near the Abbey of San Galgano. According to legend, Saint Galgano Guidati, a 12th century knight who renounced violence, thrust his sword into the stone as a symbol of his spiritual transformation. What sounds like folklore is backed by evidence. Metallurgical tests confirm the sword dates to the 12th century. How Galgano managed to drive a sword into solid rock remains unclear. The blade extends deep into the stone with no signs of manipulation, and the rock itself shows no signs of alteration. The sword has remained undisturbed for centuries. modern studies have deepened the mystery. The composition of the stone, the angle of the blade, and the sword's preservation defy easy explanation. Though some suggest the rock may have been softer at the time, geological analysis offers no support for such conditions in the region. In 1945, American pilot James Gassman reported seeing a large white pyramid while flying over the Qinling Mountains in central China. 2 years later, Colonel Maurice Sheehan claimed a similar sighting and took blurred photos, later published by the New York Times, drawing international attention. Soon after, access to the region became restricted. The Chinese government insisted the structures were ancient imperial burial mounds, not mysterious pyramids. Still, satellite imagery and local reports suggest dozens of earthen pyramids in Shaanxi province, some said to exceed 300 feet in height. Most are believed to be Han and Tang dynasty mausoleums. A legend persists about a towering white pyramid covered in limestone and aligned with stars. Some theorize it served as an observatory or symbol of advanced knowledge. However, no international team has been granted full excavation access, and the so-called White Pyramid has yet to be officially located. The lack of access continues to raise questions. If these are merely royal tombs, why the secrecy? Early descriptions hint at structures that could rival Egypt's Great Pyramid, yet they remain little known outside China. Discovered by accident in 1902 in Paola, Malta, the Saflieni Hypogeum is an underground burial complex carved into limestone and believed to date back over 5,000 years, to around 4000 BCE. Unfortunately, shortly after its discovery, many human remains and artifacts were removed or discarded by workers unaware of their significance. The site consists of 3 levels, with chambers arranged in a complex layout. While a stairwell now exists, the original access points remain unclear, raising questions about how it was entered and constructed. These mysteries continue to perplex archaeologists. The precision of the carvings implies a high degree of planning and craftsmanship unexpected for the era. Some chambers exhibit unusual acoustic properties, especially the so-called oracle room, which resonates at specific frequencies. The function of these features is still debated. Because many original materials were lost, a full understanding of the site's purpose may never be achieved. Enjoyed the video? Before we continue, don't forget to ring the bell, share it with your friends, and hit that subscribe button if you haven't yet. It truly helps me out, and I promise to bring you even more awesome content. In 1992, a Chinese farmer attempting to deepen a pond near Xi'an in Zhejiang province accidentally uncovered something remarkable: an immense underground chamber with smooth hand-carved walls. As more areas were drained and explored, over 24 connected man-made caves were revealed. These are now known as the Longyou Caves. Each cave measures up to 30 meters high, with remarkably precise and symmetrical carvings covering the walls. No tools, bones, inscriptions, or records have ever been found, and nothing indicates who built them or for what purpose. Geological and structural analysis suggests the caves are over 2,000 years old, possibly dating to the Yuan or early Han dynasty, yet they are not mentioned in any known historical texts. The sheer volume of sandstone that would have been removed is immense, estimated in the hundreds of thousands of cubic meters. Yet no debris or quarry sites have been located. Distinctive parallel chisel marks cover the walls uniformly, suggesting an organized construction effort using consistent tools and methods. In 2018, construction workers in Alexandria, Egypt, uncovered a massive black granite sarcophagus over 8 feet long, the largest ever found in the city. Unmarked and sealed for more than 2,000 years, it immediately sparked global curiosity. When opened, archaeologists were hit by a foul odor caused by sewage that had seeped in over centuries. Inside were the skeletal remains of 3 people, submerged in murky red liquid. No gold, inscriptions, or artifacts were found, unusual for a coffin of such size and quality. Could it be Alexander the Great? Was it cursed? Public fascination grew so much that some even petitioned to drink the red liquid, believing it had mystical powers. Carbon dating placed the remains in the Ptolemaic period, between the 4th and 2nd centuries BCE. Their identities and the reason for such an elaborate yet anonymous burial remain unknown. The red fluid, once thought to be blood or embalming liquid, was confirmed to be sewage mixed with organic decay. The absence of markings or funerary items remains a mystery, especially for a tomb of such apparent significance. If you were one of the first to see this mysterious sarcophagus opened, what would you have thought was inside, and would you have dared to stay and watch? Let us know in the comments. Discovered in Hungary in the early 19th century, the Rohonc Codex is an undeciphered manuscript containing over 400 pages of mysterious symbols that correspond to no known language. The book also features more than 80 illustrations, depicting scenes that appear to draw from Christian, Islamic, and pagan iconography. Despite extensive efforts by cryptographers, historians, and linguists, the Codex has resisted all attempts at translation. As one researcher put it, the book still refuses to yield even a single line of meaning. Is it an elaborate hoax? A coded religious document? Or something else entirely? The internal consistency of the symbols and the manuscript structure suggests it is unlikely to be a simple forgery. The script shows patterns that resemble a real language system, complete with spacing, punctuation-like marks, and recurring sequences, yet it remains unmatched to any known script or linguistic tradition. In the 1970s, residents of Circleville, Ohio, began receiving anonymous letters accusing them of infidelity, criminal behavior, and other personal matters. The letters were carefully written and showed an intimate understanding of the recipients' lives, information that only close associates or family should have known. Handwriting analysis was conducted by experts, but no conclusive match was identified. Even after Paul Freshour, a local man, was arrested and convicted in connection with the booby trap, the letters continued to arrive, some even postmarked while he was in prison. This raised doubts about whether he was truly responsible or if someone else was involved. To this day, the identity of the letter writer remains a mystery. What makes the case particularly unsettling is the degree of surveillance involved. The writer seemed to know about secret affairs, financial problems, and even private conversations. The transition from written threats to a physical attack shows the stalker was both methodical and dangerous, yet remained undetected. While Egypt is world-renowned for its pyramids, Greece holds ancient architectural mysteries of its own. The Pyramid of Hellenikon, located near Argos in the Peloponnese, is modest in scale compared to the pyramids of Giza, but it may have a surprising historical significance. Originally thought to date to around 300 BCE, later studies, particularly one conducted in 1991 using thermoluminescence dating, suggest it could date back as far as 2700 to 3200 BCE. If accurate, this would make it potentially older than the Egyptian step pyramid of Djoser, built around 2667 BCE. However, this early dating remains highly controversial, with other experts favoring a construction date closer to the classical or Hellenistic period. Whether it served as a tomb, a defensive structure, or an astronomical marker, the pyramid's purpose is still debated. Its construction techniques differ significantly from both Egyptian pyramids and traditional Greek architecture, pointing to either a local innovation or influence from an unknown culture. Decades before the Roswell incident, in 1897, the small town of Aurora, Texas, became the site of what some claim was the first recorded UFO crash. Local residents reported that a mysterious airship collided with a windmill on the property of a man named Judge J.S. Proctor and exploded, scattering strange metallic debris and revealing a body described as not of this world. The alleged pilot was reportedly buried in the Aurora Cemetery, but the grave marker later disappeared. Attempts by the Mutual UFO Network to exhume the body were denied by the Cemetery Association. To this day, some believe the incident was part of a government or local cover-up, while skeptics argue it was a hoax or misidentified phenomenon, possibly fabricated to boost the town's declining economy. With no surviving wreckage, no identifiable remains, and no verifiable documents, the truth remains elusive. The incident occurred during the Great Airship Wave of 1896 to 1897, a period marked by numerous mysterious aerial sightings across the United States. Many of these accounts, including Aurora's, remain unexplained and continue to fuel speculation. Do you think the Aurora Incident was a real UFO crash, a misunderstood event, or a hoax to draw attention to the town? Share your take in the comments below. In Lebanon's Baqiya Valley lies the ancient temple complex of Baalbek. What sets it apart is its foundation, composed of enormous stone blocks, some estimated to weigh up to 1,650 tons. Each trilithon stone is roughly the size of a Boeing 747 and stacked with a level of precision that even modern cranes would struggle to replicate. In a nearby Roman quarry, even larger stones, such as the stone of the pregnant woman and the stone of the south, remain unused. Many experts believe the Romans built the Temple of Jupiter atop a far older platform or foundation. However, how ancient builders managed to transport and position such colossal stones remains an unresolved question. Whether a testament to Roman engineering or evidence of a lost technological tradition, the stones of Baalbek continue to fascinate. The joints between the blocks are so precisely fitted that not even a knife blade can be inserted between them. Adding to the mystery, the quarry is located uphill from the construction site, raising further questions about how the stones were transported over uneven terrain. The Codex Gigas, also known as the Devil's Bible, is the largest surviving medieval manuscript. Created in the 13th century, likely in the Benedictine monastery of Podlasis in Bohemia, modern-day Czech Republic, it weighs over 75 kilograms and contains the complete Latin Vulgate Bible, along with texts on medicine, magic, exorcisms, and demonology. According to legend, a monk facing a penalty promised to create a book containing all human knowledge in a single night. When the task seemed impossible, the story claims he called upon supernatural forces for help. In return, he included a chilling full-page illustration of Satan, a unique and haunting image not found in any other biblical manuscript. While scholars agree the manuscript was written over many years, possibly decades, its consistent handwriting and uniform style suggest it was the work of a single scribe. A remarkable achievement of focus and craftsmanship. The Codex Gigas was taken from Prague to Sweden as war booty during the 30 Years' War, and has since been associated with misfortune, disasters, and eerie folklore. In 1942, off the coast of California, a U.S. Navy blimp designated L-8 took off from Treasure Island near San Francisco with 2 crew members aboard, Lieutenant Ernest DeWitt Cody and Ensign Charles Ellis Adams. They radioed in after spotting an oil slick, possibly from a Japanese submarine, but were never heard from again. Hours later, the blimp drifted inland and crash-landed in Daly City. When recovered, it was intact, all equipment functional, parachutes unused, and the lifeboat still secured. There were no signs of distress, damage, or foul play. The crew had simply vanished. To this day, the disappearance remains unexplained. The blimp's automatic systems had kept it airborne after the pilots went missing, but there were no clues as to what caused their disappearance. The incident occurred during World War II, a time of heightened tension over potential Japanese attacks on the U.S. West Coast, which intensified the urgency of the Navy's investigation. Despite extensive searches and interviews, no trace of the 2 experienced naval aviators was ever found. The case remains one of the strangest mysteries in U.S. military aviation history. In Egypt's Aswan quarry lies the unfinished obelisk, likely commissioned by Queen Hatshepsut. Had it been completed, it would have been the largest obelisk ever constructed, but a crack in the granite led to its abandonment. Weighing an estimated 1,200 tons, the obelisk continues to puzzle modern engineers. Ancient Egyptian workers used dolerite pounding stones and wooden wedges soaked in water to cut the granite, but how they planned to transport such a massive structure remains unknown. Some scholars believe the obelisk held religious or astronomical significance, while others suggest it was abandoned due to technical issues or changing political priorities. Regardless, it stands as a powerful testament to ancient ambition and engineering skill. Even unfinished, the carving shows a level of precision remarkable for the tools of that era. If completed, it would have stood over 40 meters tall, surpassing all known obelisks ever erected. Transporting it from the quarry to its destination would have required advanced techniques, many of which remain a mystery. Its very existence suggests the ancient Egyptians had engineering methods now lost to time. Do you think the ancient Egyptians had advanced engineering knowledge that we've lost over time, or were they just incredibly skilled with the tools they had? Let us know what you think. In Maharashtra, India, stands the Kailasa Temple at Ellora, the world's largest monolithic rock-cut structure. Unlike conventional buildings, it was carved vertically downward from a single basalt cliff. Over 400,000 tons of rock were removed with hand tools, revealing detailed pillars, shrines, and halls carved with remarkable precision. According to legend, the architect vowed to reveal the temple's peak within 1 week to honor a queen's fasting vow. Historically, it is believed the temple was completed in about 18 years during the reign of Rashtrakuta King Krishna I in the 8th century CE. Despite much study, its construction methods remain unclear. How ancient builders achieved such complexity with rudimentary tools is still debated. Some suggest lost techniques or large-scale labor coordination. Even Mughal Emperor Aurangzeb reportedly failed to destroy it after 3 years of attempts. The temple's engineering, especially its cantilevered elements and load distribution, continues to challenge modern understanding, standing as a lasting tribute to ancient craftsmanship and vision. In Costa Rica's Diquís Delta, hundreds of near-perfect stone spheres are scattered across the region. Some are as large as a car, while others are small enough to hold in one's hand. Their origin and purpose remain uncertain. Were they astronomical tools, religious symbols, or territorial markers? Myths suggest they were made by giants or brought from Atlantis, but no evidence supports these claims. While some early theories proposed natural formation, the uniformity in shape and size strongly indicates they were man-made. What they represented to the now extinct Diquís culture, which flourished between 700 and 1530 CE, is still debated among archaeologists. The precision of these spheres is remarkable. Many are nearly perfectly round, within a margin of just a few millimeters, a feat difficult even with today's technology. The largest weighed over 15 tons and were transported from quarries located several miles away, despite the lack of wheels or draft animals. Some spheres appear to have been deliberately arranged, possibly to represent celestial alignments or significant locations. However, many were relocated during the 20th century, complicating efforts to study their original placements and meaning. Discovered in 1949 in Irkutsk Oblast, southeastern Siberia, the Patomskiy Crater, also known as the Patomskiy Crater or Fire Eagle Nest, resembles the aftermath of a meteor impact. However, several features raise doubts. Composed entirely of shattered limestone, the crater has a cone-like structure with a raised dome at its center and no clear impact point, puzzling geologists and researchers. Various hypotheses have been proposed, including a subsurface gas explosion, a cryptodome, or even the collapse of a karst limestone formation. Fringe theories suggest a curse, with claims that people who investigate the site may suffer misfortune or death. While several researchers associated with the crater have died unexpectedly, these cases lack evidence of a direct connection. The structure's unusual dome-like uplift, rather than a traditional impact depression, continues to defy standard geological explanations. Additionally, the limestone debris shows no evidence of the extreme heat or melting typically associated with meteor impacts. In North Carolina, a large soapstone boulder covered in ancient petroglyphs may represent a sacred map of the Cherokee people's ancestral lands. Known as Judaculla Rock, its carvings are unlike any others in North America. Some scholars estimate that the petroglyphs could date back as far as 2000 BCE, though exact dating is difficult. The modern eastern band of Cherokee Indians still regard the rock as a sacred site. Its full meaning may never be fully understood, but it speaks volumes without a single word. The rock contains more than 1,500 individual markings, making it one of the most complex and densely inscribed petroglyph sites in North America. The symbols include geometric shapes, animal figures, and abstract designs that do not correspond to any known Cherokee writing system. In part because the Cherokee historically used an oral tradition until the invention of the Cherokee syllabary in the early 19th century. Some researchers believe the markings may represent a celestial map, while others theorize that it could have served as a territorial boundary marker or ritual calendar. Which mystery captivated you most? Could one of these riddles be solved in our lifetime? Or will they remain shadows from the past, forever elusive? Whether these secrets will ever be fully revealed or remain forever shrouded in mystery, they continue to captivate our imagination and drive our endless quest to understand the world around us and the civilizations that came before us. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell icon for more journeys into the unknown. We'll see you next time. Thanks for being with us. Leave a comment, like to show your support, and remember to hit that subscribe button for more exciting videos. See you next time.